The King of Belgium apologizes to DRC for the atrocities of King Leopold II and colonial history. Philip Leopold Louis Marie, the current Belgian king, has on Tuesday written a letter to the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo expressing his deepest regret for the atrocities, acts committed during the colonial years of King Leopold II and also for all other crimes committed, committed by his country during that era. Best say this to the King of Belgium. Your apology is unwelcome. Your apology is unnecessary. What you say is meaningless. What you do is what is meaningful. You may be apologizing now only to create another platform or another pathway to exploit Congo continuously because of Congo's riches. 10 million people during the reign of King Leopold II were killed. 10 million people in Congo were killed just like that. Children, women, men killed in Congo DRC by one man who decided to possess a country bigger than him. And if you look at the entire history of colonization in Africa, you want to add the amount of people killed in every part of Africa because of white supremacy, because of white control, because of white power, influence, because they want to get rich through the backs of black people. If you look at the amount of people that were killed, just 10 million in Congo DRC by the Belgian president, King Leopold II. 6 million people were killed during the Holocaust. Even though they are trying to inflate the amount now, saying, oh, it's 11 million or is this amount a million? But the original was 6 million that was killed. But when a great man like Minister Louis Farrakhan speaks about what is happening in America to the black Americans, the Jewish community, they do whatever they have to do to make sure that his message is not carried across the entire United States. They make sure to block what he is saying, that many people will not listen to him. They say he's anti-Semitic. But look at the black American history. How many black Americans were killed during the time of slavery? It's more than the 6 million Jews that were killed. Yet, the Jewish community suppress the rights, the humanity of black people in the United States. And that's exactly what happens all over the world. The humanity, the rights of black people are being suppressed, subdued, controlled, murdered. And you want to apologize and you think that's just going to be, oh, yes, we are, because people are kicking down the statues of King Leopold and many other statues around the world that were involved in colonization or slavery or dehumanization of black people because of Black Lives Matters. Now you want to take the time to apologize. 10 million people were killed by the King of Leopold. You think an apology will wipe that away? Nah, you guys made Africa bleed so that you guys could get rich. And now you want to just give an apology and you think that is okay. Meanwhile, you still find ways to continue to exploit African people and Africa because of Africans' resources. And you think this is an apology is okay. But I'm telling you, an apology is not okay. We need to, blacks in the world need to make, let me rephrase that. The amount of reparation that whites in the world have to pay will bleed the economy of white power structure. Because that is how much they made Africa bleed, and they made black people bleed to regain their wealth. Their wealth is made up of black blood, the blood of black people. And you think apologizing will just make it okay. It's not only 10 million people were killed in Congo. Look at the entire African people. If you want to calculate the amount of people that were killed, that's 6 million Jews or 17 million Jews or 11 million Jews. It's nothing compared to the amount of people that were killed, amount of black people that were killed worldwide because of white globalization and money. Blacks were killed because whites wanted money. They wanted to enrich themselves. And they wanted power. So they made point blank that black people were not human enough. So by killing black people, it was nothing. All over the world, it doesn't matter where blacks are. India, China, Asia, North America, South America, it doesn't matter. Europe, black people still get treated the same way because the rest of the world does not see black people as human. So your apology will not change that. And it's unwelcome. France takes out 500 billion US dollars yearly from 14 countries in Africa. How much does the United Kingdom take out of the Commonwealth countries in Africa? It's probably equivalent to the 500. They have created a situation where they benefit financially through the backbones of black people globally. And then they turn around and dehumanize, tell us that we're 3/4 of a human race, that we're not human enough. And you think an apology because people are knocking down statues of King Leopold and many other statues. No. This is the moment, this is the time for black people to unite and see that no matter what the white race does, apology, kneeling down in front of Protestants, to show sympathy, or whatever they do it to make sure that they can still be in power to control the circumstances of the black race. So the black race must rise up and create a power structure that is as equivalent to the power structure that has been put in place in the world, where United States, France, United Kingdom, Germany, Russia, China control the world. Those 5 countries control the world, and those 5 countries fight for supremacy over the world. But Africa has 54 countries and many black people all over the world, yet there is no power structure put in place to control the destiny of black people. That's what must be done. The world is protesting against racism. Black Lives Matter movement is protesting against racism and police brutality. And you see some of the police showing sympathy, kneeling down, politicians saying whatever. That is just symbolism. It don't mean shit. To change things is to have a structure of black power that is as equivalent as white power, without which blacks all over the world will be subservient continuously to whites, Asians, and non-Africans in the world. It's as simple as that. We don't need an apology from the president, from the king of Belgium or any other, because the apology is meaningless. It means shit. They need to pay up. As much as they made black people bleed, they need to pay up to the point where their economy will be bleeding, because they will pay so much money they will have nothing to survive on. But in order for that to happen, we need a black power structure. Power is key, and that's what controls the world. And black people must recognize that, must realize that if they don't put themselves in the structure of power, not just the structure that has been created by whites, but their own structure that they have created, black power structure, where black people intermingle, create finances, and then interconnected wherever black people are. In other words, what I'm saying, that we need a global Pan-African government, separated from the rest of the other types of leadership or white structural leadership. And we need the United States of Africa, because countries like Belgium, France, United Kingdom, or Britain, they benefit from what they did during the Berlin Conference, splitting Africa for their own personal interests, for their own banking system, for their own economic system, and enriched themselves and slaughtered many black lives. And now people are going, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter would not change shit if you don't create the structure of power to change it. And 42 million people, 42 million blacks in the United States, it's not large enough to change shit where they are a minority. But if they can connect it where they have other blacks in the world, then their power will become stronger. Their power is not going to only be in the United States, it's going to be global. In a sense where they can actually change shit. That's what black people need in the world. A black structure of power. Without which, they'll always have their knees on our necks and then apologize. Year in, year out. 200 years from now, 300 years from now, 400 years from now, 1,000 years from now, so long as we don't have the structure of power to defend and protect the interests of black race, black humanity, nothing will change. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Black power holding your fist, that's one thing. But having the structure of black governments, of Pan-African, global Pan-African government is the key. Black people need to survive in this world. Power is the most vital thing to change anything that you want to. Without power, what does 54 African countries do? They go to India to beg for money. They go to China to beg for money. They go to France to beg for money. They just get tossed around like a soccer ball. But nothing gets accomplished. So this is the time for global Pan-African revolution. And we put the structure of global Pan-African government. That way we won't have to be begging from the east or the west. But we do what is necessary for the interests of black people. This is King H. I'm out.